Yeah, I'm enjoying your story, Boni. Welcome back.
Thank you very much, Pastor.
Yeah, I see so much value in these conversations because then I cannot longer relate. I cannot relate to you on a surface. I feel. Thanks for sharing this journey with you. We get educated every day. We get stories like this, and I always try to give people a much more relevant title once I've heard their stories, and I'm tempted to. Will you agree if I refer to you as an ICT practitioner and entrepreneur?
I would agree, definitely.
Because you started your career before the concept of ICT was formulated the way it is now, and of course, right now we have the fourth industrial revolution technologies, which are generally covered by ICT. But you have decided also to make enterprise out of that, and that is something I would like us to talk about. And maybe, is there anything out of your professional career that we left out that you feel strongly that we need to mention before we go into entrepreneurship?
I think maybe it is the emphasis that, even though there was not much growth upward when I entered the world of human resources, but there was massive growth in terms of appreciation of human development and their importance in the business. I actually could even get to a point where I would sit and say, even when I was on strategy or corporate strategy, my importance, I put much importance on services and technology, and I was generic about the importance of people. It was only when I was with, and then as head of learning and development, that really the eyes opened up in terms of the value of humans if they are properly trained. Yeah,
which is really
that was one, and then again having that opportunity to on part-time basis be the CEO of Sasuke. Again, heightened my appreciation about the challenges that the country faces, particularly our youngsters that would go onto the universities and even Tibet colleges. They attend, and then after that they cannot necessarily have the place to apply the acquired knowledge and convert it into a skill. I think it was also some of the learning that one had to build in, and as one decided on the academy.
For the benefit of those who don't know what Sasuke is, and also the fact that you did play a role of a CEO there for a while, maybe just let's spend a few minutes on that. What Sasuke is, what does it stand for? And which times were you a CEO there?
Okay. SASCA stands for Southern African Society for Cooperative Education, and its objective was to assist students and institutions in the implementation of work-integrated learning. Under the umbrella of cooperative education, and it functioned really as a advocacy organization, but it also implemented initiatives to practicalize the work-integrated learning. I hope that I'm doing justice in explaining it.
Yeah.
and of course, I was the CEO for the year. I think 2016 up until the end of my term in 2018.
Yeah. And it does exist in basically all universities, more or less, that are very much oriented towards a practical way of doing things. The universities of technology mostly, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, it is always important for us to share these things because it might not be that visible to people, but when they go to universities, they ask for cooperative education divisions of the universities and work integrated learning programs, and that's where then they will come into contact with SASCI.
Yes.
And to add to the explanation, it's also important for people to know that it has the relationship with the World Association of Cooperative Education. It's not just existing in isolation. And, yeah. Great stuff. I'm sure we will have opportunity to talk to somebody from SASCI one day and to go deeper into it. But yeah. So that's, and then of course after you felt the time had come for you to focus on your own enterprise. And tell us about your own enterprise, the name, what it stands for, and where it is at the moment, and what is it focusing on?
Okay. The name of our enterprise is Supreme ICT Academy. It was actually conceived when I was returning as an expert. At that time, I established the company Supreme ICT Consultants.
Yes.
And I was again still confused whether I wanted to be a consultant or a training practitioner. Eventually, I thought I must stick to what people last remember me by, which was then the training executive for telco.
Yes.
So then that's how I initially then I focused on training and therefore Supreme ICT Consultant Pty actually is trading as Supreme ICT Academy.
I see.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yes, we actually were focusing literally on telecommunications. Which are the functional skills or practical practitioner skills, and we also focus on IT. We are accredited with the MICT CETA, and we are currently accredited for roughly about 3 qualifications, and there's a pipeline of about 10 more that are going to be added in the extension of scope that we are putting in so that we can create more learning opportunities. The 3 that we are accredited for is the one end user computing, National Certificate end user computing, that's at NQF level 3, and then the telecommunications network operations at NQF level 4, and the technical support at NQF level 4. Wow. Those are then what we do also, we offer the short courses, accredited and non-accredited. The accredited, we tend to borrow the unit standards that are relevant to the needs of the customer, but we borrow them from these qualifications so that we can meet the specific needs of the customer, and then we'll offer those short courses. For non-credit bearing, that's when we've got to get into your organization and you've got a specific need, and we've got to customize a solution so that it meets the challenge that you have. And that's roughly it. We are also then the CompTIA delivery partner on the IT side, so we offer such courses as the A+. Normally, if you go to such companies, and sorry to be advertising, or companies that sell computers, let me not pick up one, and they offer support. The guys that would fix your PC and remove viruses, they are most likely to have acquired an A+ qualification, typically. Which is one of the certifications we offer. Those are the international certifications. They are not on the NQF framework family. We will also offer the corporate courses within that range, which is the network N+, which is then the networking certification, security plus, and so forth. There's still a wide range that we actually offer there as well, just to enable people to perform or grow their IT careers today. And one of the beautiful things then, if you are looking, for instance, as in taking an A+, A+ because you want to open up a small computer shop in the corner in your area and fix PCs and help customers install new software, configure new machines, be it desktops, laptops, or set up printers for them and fix those things. That's typically the career that the A+ person can be dealing with, and it's also the foundation for future careers in IT as well. You see. Yeah.
And tell me the telecommunications as you address it, is it both mobile and fixed line?
In terms of the intent, we want to also do mobile, but we have not had a mobile customer. So our biggest element right now has been on fixed, and particularly the biggest demand or delivery has been on sponsored program for the unemployed youth doing the optic fiber splicing and testing.
I see.
As an example.
Yes.
Yeah.
And tell me, in your provision of services, are you catering for the new digital solutions? I mean, I'm not in the space, but I know that we have long moved from analog to digital and
digital.
Yeah.
No. That's for instance, on the telecommunications side, when we're talking optic fiber splicing and whatever, as we speak, even those optic fiber has been around for more than 30 years, that is in the world itself. But it is one technology that is old, but it's still an enabler even for the fourth industrial revolution. Because if it's limited today by the electronics on either side of its network, otherwise, if there were no electronic limitations, the transfer speeds are the speed of light.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So it's an enabler. So if you go through machine-to-machine communication, interconnections, even on the data centers, the connecting device is the optic fiber.
Wow.
Typically. So it is one of the key enablers, because if you are talking broadband, besides the wireless, which normally gets affected at times by weather conditions and everything, the most reliable that exists today is optic fiber. So it is still there in terms of, and again, if you are looking on the suite of courses, be it the Network Plus, the A+, even the cybersecurity, as we move towards artificial intelligence, using all these other, relying on machines to perform the jobs. Also, there is an increase in opportunities to actually attack those systems, put viruses, put everything comes in, then the security plus comes in, the security analyst, which you actually would analyze your networks, analyze your systems in terms of how secure they are, can they be hacked, and all those things. So it's part and parcel of the courses that we offer.
Great stuff. And will you say that are there enough of you guys out there in the form of this type of companies? Because I would like to believe that this is a major area of need in South Africa as we're trying to catch up with the fourth industrial revolution.
I don't believe that there is enough, but there is just the challenge, because there is one of the challenges is that the bigger corporations, like my previous one, tended to have their own training and development units, and also the original equipment manufacturers in the form of this provides the equipments and whatever, tend to have their own, and there tends to be sometimes the challenge of some of them, not all of them, would want to treat you as a competitor rather than a potential partner that they could use to
yes.
I
wanted to come to that point, and thanks for raising it, because for me, what is of great interest in this conversation is the entrepreneurial side of it, which says that entrepreneurs don't compete, they collaborate. And if you take an analogy of or the example of how motor manufacturers work. I mean, I always use this example that if you look at the BMW, and you can take that whole BMW and sort of like split it into its little components. Almost each component is equivalent to an entrepreneur that was where this particular part was sourced from. So the competency of BMW is to put together a car, these parts to make a car. It doesn't mean they want to be a specialist in producing a steering wheel or a wheel or producing a brake or a clutch, but they know that they have entrepreneurs that fit into the value chain that must meet certain standards, and those entrepreneurs, they are their partners. They're not competing with them on that.
Yeah. I think that's one of the key learnings that we still need to get into, because there is that mentality that sometimes prevails. And then there's also the mentality of sitting and saying, I know this much company that has been in existence in so many times, and reluctance to actually sit and say, do we know who's Supreme ICT Academy?
Yes.
And it would be better if you get given them the opportunity when you knock on the door that somebody can listen, and it becomes the case that, no, look, he was given the opportunity to sell and he messed it up, But at times it's a case of, no, we have got an established supplier, we stick in there, which then goes contrary to the promotion of entrepreneurship.
And I think at one point, as a society and as citizens of South Africa, we're going to have to become selfish about this, and we're going to have to challenge this, that we don't want role players in our economy that actually want to operate as exclusive and maintain the monopolies that don't build the economy, because sometimes I even feel that it doesn't even need the BEE to intervene. It just needs a common sense. You can't come and trade in a country and then wants to be a big brother and don't actually engage with other role players for the growth of the economy, because the economy is not going to be grown up by one company being everything. It's going to only grow. We are only going to grow if we collaborate. And I think the buyers of these services, in government included, needs to be quite clear and intentional about this. You want the big corporates who are realize that they have a role to play. They don't have to lower their standard. They can give the standard and make the other entrepreneurs to fit that standard. Let that be the only reason why they will exclude Supreme ICT, not because they exclude Supreme ICT because they are fearful that Supreme ICT one day will take over their whole business, which is not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
If the idea of collaboration is what we embrace as a society.
Yeah. No, that's true, Brasem, and in actual fact, I don't think it's a Supreme ICT. I think it's generically the reluctance to engage the entrepreneurs, the young ones. People want to go to the big ones, and I don't know whether it's the fear to take the risk, or it's the comfort of dealing with that which you know rather than the unknown.
I would like to also say that even among ourselves and yourselves, it's very important to identify each other and actually collaborate, because we have spoken to Dynamic DNA, which is also in the ICT space, and also with the MIC CETA. We have spoken to Lawrence Keke, who runs his computer academy countrywide. So now we are speaking to Supreme ICT, and I know they will be listening to this conversation. And then, of course, we have our brothers and sisters in Berlin that are pushing for they're called the AfroLink, that are pushing for entrepreneurship development for the continent. And one of the reasons, or one of the things that brings us together is we want to build this network of collaborators, of entrepreneurs, because the opportunities are just so immense for the continent for us to even start thinking about competing.
True.
And I'm glad that we have spoken, and I know they will get this message, and I know our office could also try and bring you guys together, because sometimes they may have a course that's accredited, but they are not able to deliver it. Why the Supreme ICT can't take it and deliver it, and vice versa. And when we start going into the continent, I mean, you have worked in Nigeria already, you know the landscape. It's not only about the technology, it's also about understanding the market.
The market, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
You can feel that I'm animated. This is it's a topic I'm very passionate about, because
I can hear that respect at the passion.
I really want our continent to move forward, but also I want people like yourselves who have it, you know, to be contributing to it. Now, why did you decide to call yourself Supreme ICT? Any reason for that?
It was based on the desire to offer a higher service or supreme quality of service to those that we serve. That, you know, in the end, they can say, you know what, we were treated well and we got what we wanted.
I always like asking this question, because all the great entrepreneurs and all the great companies were created by entrepreneurs who had some vision and ambitions and dreamt big, even in the naming of their companies. So if there is a meaning, we would like to know about it. And you are present in the country?
We actually have got the offices and the classes in Centurion, and we've got another class in KZN. But we do deliver on on-demand basis nationally.
And you have associates that you work with as well?
We do have a memorandum of understanding, which is actually due for renewal with Sanganani Technologies, and that would be where, for instance, we are not accredited for Microsoft and Cisco, but we can still serve customers that need Cisco courses and Microsoft courses through that memorandum of understanding.
Fantastic. Any plans to be present in the continent in whatever more way, either through associations or licensing or agencies, or how do you plan to do that?
At the moment, though I have not gone in and put it into the nitty-gritties, but in the objectives, we expansion objectives, we wanted to be able to offer, to do offerings for the ITU and the continent, the Commonwealth Telecommunications Organization and Southern African Telecommunications Associations. That is with respect to the telecommunications side of skills, and even IT, by the way. And the reason one had those is as the head of the training initially, we had, as Telecom Center for Learning, played that role. But I think there's a vacuum there, because through reorganization of Telcom, and then that institution that used to cover that is no longer there. And to my knowledge, there's a vacuum, and that still needs to be filled in. Yeah, so yes, there is that, and then of course, again, in terms of additional partners beyond CompTIA, one is looking at Cisco, who's normally globally known for their networking or IT solutions, as well as Huawei on the other side, who is also the growing giant besides the US antics and whatever, true or not.
Especially with their 5G technologies.
Yes.
Yeah. It will always be a contested terrain, and sometimes politics and business economy clash, but one must not be sidetracked by all those. We want to make a difference and make an impact in our continent, and the politics, leave the politics to politicians to regulate. Tell me, if I'm a youngster at the university or a high school, and I'm very impressed with the journey that Gantile has followed, and I really aspire one day working for or working with Supreme ICT, what are the things that you will say I need to take care of that will accelerate that opportunity?
Okay. One of the things that you would have to do is you could take the career in IT or in telecoms, but most of them are IT. Yes. There's element of telecoms in there, and then with that to be able to work with us and also be able to create career for yourselves, you will also then either take the modules on facilitation, assessment, and moderation. It's also critical that you gain practical experience wherever you can gain practical experience, because then that will set you up to be able to get facilitation opportunities. And the assessor, facilitator, moderator, that goes for the SAQA accredited programs that are accredited through MICT. Then you need to have those to be able to assess, facilitate, assess, or moderate, perform internal moderation. That is one. If you are actually going through then onto the partners, the organizations that will become delivery partners with, like CompTIA, Cisco, or whatever, they've got their own specific facilitator training thing. For instance, CompTIA has got a CTT certificate, which is CompTIA Technical Trainer certificate that one has got to complete. So again, the field experience, because people do not want somebody that's going to stand in front of them and theorize, and somebody says, well, I've got this problem, and you go to the book and say, the book says, but I don't know why it's not working. They need that experience and the view and whatever. So whenever they can get the experience, they will get it, and then, but it will help them to be able to be with us. Sometimes, for instance, as an example, for the past 2 years, we had a huge project that we were running where we were providing these optic fiber skills, optic fiber splicing and testing. And even though we had a huge number of staff, we even got to a point where we took the guys that were very experienced and they performed very well. And we actually assisted, put in some development plan for them so that we accelerated their experience as well, so that they can assist in the simulation phase, because not all the learners could be placed with industry. So as Supreme, we then, after formal training, because the program was sponsored, we also created simulation centers. And then on the simulation centers, these guys will assist with the guys doing practicals for 2.5 months, so that in the end they can end up with a CV saying that I am experienced in doing this. Even though it was not in the simulation center, not in the live network. Yeah.
Beautiful. So you as an expert in this field, you can, as a Supreme ICT, also play a major role in putting together ICT-related mentorship programs, right?
Yes, we can do that.
Yeah, if companies are there, say, listen, we really want to do more than just technical. We really want to get somebody that can help us with our internal development programs. So that will be, and of course your human resources experience will also come in handy, right?
Yes, definitely.
So now if I'm a high-level person and I like what I'm hearing, and I like to, maybe I want to invest in your company, I want to become your partner, or I want to contribute somehow. What will you say is your vision and mission and business objectives that will make me even more excited? Let's leave technical stuff aside now. Talking to you as an entrepreneur and the owner of this company, where are you taking this company to, my friend, so that I can put my money in it? Because those are difficult questions that you get asked once you have started. Say, hey, now Now I'm no longer talking the stuff I know. I'm talking to investors don't ask nitty-gritties. They just want to know that you know the direction you are following.
You know the direction.
Are you going to be here tomorrow?
I wish I can actually say yes. I wish to be here tomorrow. Okay, I think what we're hoping for is again to be a sustainable, effective and efficient training institution that will support the needs of the economy and the policy. So to that effect, we try to make it our business to actually understand where the economy is going on, because we are looking more that we are, maybe some people will call it reactionary, but we are the needs driven, but not necessarily demand. But we would look on the things and start saying which are the things that will be needed by the economy and are needed now, and then we'll make right noises about the ones that are likely to be needed in the future, and we make a plan about those that are needed now, so that we can create the relevant training. And of course, we are at this moment only delivering we are mainly delivering on the training, but we do have the capacity to design curriculum. We do have the capacity and in our own objectives to assist in terms of doing the skills needs analysis, do pre-assessments, and be able to advise businesses in terms of what skills do they need and how they can train their people. And of course, we also are there to assist the business with the training side for their internships and learnerships as well, so we can be able to prepare the growth or the growth pathways depending on the organization and where it wants to go. Mm-hmm. So that's roughly what we want to do. And initially, we wanted to start growing locally. Where we are now, we are in the end of the introduction stroke growth. We are basically introducing ourselves to the domestic market and are embarking on entrenching ourselves in the market. And I think it is one of the difficult phases, but we want to be here in the long term, even when I am truly retired and those with new skills have taken over, but that is roughly the dream, that we should always be regarded as the institution that will provide the economy with what it needs and the customers with what they need.
And you seem to be quite very up to speed with the landscape at policy level as well and global standards. How important is that to the domestic entrepreneurs like yourself, that we align with the global standards and the global policies, like the ITUs of this world, and of course the regional equipment manufacturers also influence those standards, and what sort of relationship are you having and you think we should be having as a country?
It is very important. Compliance on one level is very, very important. Creative or innovations needs to then start after the compliance is achieved. Because the non-compliance can be very costly. You need to comply with the OEM, you need to comply with ITU standards, because if you do not comply, you're automatically at fault if anything happens. Imagine you are supplying a equipment, an electronic or ICT equipment to the health sector, and it does not meet the minimum standards, and it could be fatal. Equally, on training, we need to meet the minimum standards that have been set and innovate to exceed them.
Wow. Those are the things that some entrepreneurs sometimes overlook, and you are right. It could destroy the whole idea that they once have. Are you engaged with government structures in terms of, especially the department of, what do we call our department now? Is it telecommunications? Communications and, I've just forgot the new name.
It's the DTPS is Department of Telecommunications and Postal Services.
Yeah.
It's
Are you guys
360 degree?
Are you guys being recognized and are you being called forward whenever there are some deliberations in terms of strategy of the country?
In actual fact, as Supreme, not yet. We have tried some appointments. Not to say that they were declined; they have just not materialized yet. But we have received a positive tone. But of course, in my individual role as when I was a corporate employee, I was involved in a number of them, including the National E-Skills Plan.
But you do follow the debates, the discussions.
I do follow the debates, yes.
Yes. Fantastic. What would you say are your strengths and areas of development right now?
I think the strength is the fact that the management of Supreme, and actually I'm not the sole owner of Supreme, even though I am the founding member. I have two partners.
Yes.
It's 90% family owned, so my other partner is my real life partner as well.
Yes.
And then the other partner who owns 10% of the business is my ex-colleague.
Yes.
But what's important is about the three of us, we also have got extensive knowledge, the two of us, that is myself and my colleague, have got the extensive knowledge of the ICT space and also, of course, of the training itself, particularly when it comes to me. And then my lifetime partner has got extensive entrepreneurial experience, particularly in the retail sector. She has also been involved in shuttle business and equipment hire. So we actually have a full appreciation of how important it is to understand and meet the needs of the customer. At the functional level, the facilitators that we've got, they've got on average more than 15 years of experience facilitating in the ICT sector. So they don't only bring the facilitation, but they also, again, bring in the knowledge of the sector and the appropriate equipment. So that in itself is one of those strengths that we have.
And areas of development?
The areas of development, I would say that we still need the capability to be able to market and sell ourselves. I think it is one of the areas. The customers we have, they are normally very happy about us, but I think we're not where we are in terms of exposing ourselves and acquiring new customers.
Have we invited you to the AfroLink Expert Live events that we do on Facebook? You haven't attended any one of them?
I have not seen it yet.
Yeah, because there's also hopefully the coronavirus problem will go out of the way. There's an annual conference that takes place in Berlin where entrepreneurs from the continent get invited, because it's only through the networks that people will get to know your offerings and also give you the opportunity to do. That's a challenge for everybody, actually, globally, access to markets. But sometimes it's networks, that's where it starts.
It starts, that's true. That's true.
I mean, this platform itself, one of these objectives is connecting demand to supply. And I hope that also will contribute to that. What do you say are your immediate needs? Is it again still the business development opportunities, no?
Yes.
Okay, great. Wow. And how do people get a hold of you? Or how do people get a hold of Supreme ICT Academy? Are there any contact details that we can share with the listeners?
Yes, they can dial direct 012
Yes.
534 I repeat, 012-534-3801. That's the fixed line. They can also call the mobile 082-77-22281. Or if they want to email us, they can email us at info at Supreme ICT Academy, one word, all small letters, .co.za.
Great. Just repeat those numbers using the international dial code for South Africa.
Okay. It's +27 12 534 3801. That's the fixed line. Mobile is +27 82 77 222 81.
Great. Any social media presence?
There is a social media presence. We do have the Facebook page, which is Supreme ICT Academy. One word, all small letters. We also are present on LinkedIn. It is Supreme ICT Academy. We're also available on Instagram, which is Supreme _ICT _Academy. And also people can visit our website, which is www.sicta.co.za. That's our online institute. Or they can visit our general website, which is www.supremeictacademy.co.za.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's helpful. At least people can follow up on anything that you might have raised during our conversation, or even if there are opportunities. I mean, that's the whole idea. And of course, if they forgot, our office could always also share that. Any last words from your side? This has been wonderful conversation. I think we can carry on. I just enjoy the insights that you have, and I think I'm sure it's not the last time that we have a conversation. But any closing remarks?
It's just to say thank you very much from my side for the opportunity and to share on the things. I hope that it will go a long way in contributing to the society, and also for myself increase on our own accessibility to the market. But it was also great to talk to you. It's been a while, and thank you for the opportunity.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for your generosity. We certainly have learned a lot from you, and the listeners will definitely take something home, and we will be happy to hear how the follow-ups evolve. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Ndade Boni Gantile from the Supreme ICT Academy. You are welcome to be in touch with him. Once again, I'm Sam Zimmer from Comesa GOC International. I'm the CEO and the Executive Business Coach. Visit our website, which is www.comesa-goc.com. And of course, you are invited to be part of the journey by becoming a member at Comesa Friends and Supporters Club, NPO, either individual or corporate. And the application can be done online at www.comesaclub.africa. We also welcome your email. If you can send us a note at callcenter@comesa-goc.com. And call center is CALLCENTRE, and it's at comesa-goc.com. We thank you for tuning in. We are looking forward to welcome you at our next broadcast, and we wish you all the best. Goodbye, be safe, and take care.